Okay, after quite a few inconsistent Raws, this one was a pretty solid knock out of the park. You begin with the Authority in the ring, everyone all dressed to the nines, talking about their matches. They dropped the $9.99. This was the first of many times you got to hear them talk about Kansas City and the World Series. Don't care, I want to watch wrestling. I'm well aware there's other sports that involve balls and involve sticks. Great. Don't care, talk about the wrestling. Talk about the sports entertainment. Don't talk about the other sports. Don't really care. So of course the main event ends up being the 3-on-2 handicap match, which has kind of been the match we've seen with the Authority versus Ambrose and Cena for quite some time. It always ends in a beatdown. Of course, this time there's a very ominous structure hanging above the ring. The Hell in a Cell. Great use of that. Really good use of that. So of course, we then begin to our first match, and it is a 6-man match. Sheamus and the Usos versus The Miz and the Dusts. I know you're thinking, man, we've never seen this match before, but they flip it. Miz now takes the place of The Miz and gets the roll of victory. Miz freaks out. He's like, I won! I won! The shot of The Miz reacting to Mizdow getting a roll of victory is perfect. I do think that when Miz meets Sheamus for the U.S. Championship, I do think that I don't see Sheamus dropping the title. I don't. I think he'd be better to drop it to Mizdow than to Miz. I think it'd make a really interesting feud with those two, but I don't picture The Miz defeating him. Sorry. We had a Divas match between AJ and Alicia Fox. Alicia was getting the daylights beaten out of her. Paige got in her face, which was enough to distract AJ for Alicia to get a victory. Brilliant. AJ's taking on Paige again. These two, ironically, put on some decent matches. But no one has the balls to put this match inside a Hell in a Cell. And I don't picture AJ dropping the title, therefore making Paige the youngest 3-time champion. Because they really don't have anybody else currently on the roster since the Total Divas cast can't become champions. Unless they're going to all of a sudden bring up Emma or Layla into the title picture, they really can't do much with the title belt. It's kind of sad. Oh, Brie had a match against Summer Rae, but seeing as how she beat Summer Rae and Layla in like a one-arm tied behind her back handicap match, foregone conclusion she was going to win. Nikki is taking on Brie in a loser becomes the assistant of the winner for a month. If they decide to not do that, they're forced to quit. That's like a TNA stipulation right there. That's way too long. And to be honest with you, I just really don't care. I mean, the storyline was Brie quit, Steph treated Nikki like crap, she lost all the time. Brie comes back, loses to Steph, there's the turn, Nikki puts Brie through everything that she has been through, Brie then Super Cena's her way through every single encounter. And we really haven't seen Nikki do that much in the way of, actual wrestling matches in quite some time. So hopefully this is one before the dual main event. Cesaro took on Ziggler. I'm glad that they let Cesaro do the European uppercut as a finisher. He did it, I think, in a match against Kofi Kingston, and it was brilliant. Kofi came off at the top rope, and he just ate it. It's like, Shoryuken! Just beautiful. Or Tiger, depending on, how you want to do it. Beautiful. Great match. Great back and forth, but it's two workhorses. You expect these two guys to put on a great match. Rusev had a match against Big E Langston, who I'm waiting for when the super athletic friends joined forces. That, of course, being the team of Big E, Cove E, and Xavier Woods. I think Titus O'Neil needs to be in that group too, just to make it rounded out and be perfect. So, nice match against Big E Langston. These two have some pretty solid chemistry. I did miss not seeing the Rusev on the apron. Big E spearing him through the apron to the outside, which is a brilliant spot. So you hear as like 600 pounds of humanity comes crashing down to the outside. Beautiful spot. It looks so vicious. Oh. Every time I see it, it reminds me of like Mick Foley and Edge in a flaming table that I saw live at WrestleMania. But then he asked for his flag. The American flag comes down. And then what may or may not have been a plant, Surfman runs into the ring, is attacked by Rusev. It feels like it's probably a plant. Big Show comes out of the ring. And he looks pissed. Gives a solid promo about how he's pretty much going to destroy Rusev. I do wish every now and then they could get away with, not having to be like, I'm going to wreak vengeance upon his head. Yeah, I'm okay with you being in the heat of the moment, throwing out, sweat words, that's fine. I think those two could have a really nice match. Do I picture Rusev losing to Show? No, I don't. I think Show's a really, really good effort. I would like to see Show actually lose by DQ. Like, he's so into it, beat the daylights out of Rusev, and the ref calls the match. Rusev, again, is undefeated, but he didn't defeat the Big Show, didn't make Big Show tap. That ends up being a pretty strong narrative going forward. Oh, yeah, Usos are taking down the Dusts again. I don't picture the Usos winning the tag belts. I don't really picture the titles really changing hands. Except for maybe the world, oh, that's right, Lesnar's not showing up. It's not a big enough payday for him. The Ambrose promos. Ambrose cut a promo with John Cena, and he was watching Cena Evil 2. I was like, it's a pretty solid promo. And Ambrose was like, you're like Superman, I'm like Batman. And then he's like, you're more like the Joker at the end. Why so serious? And I was like, dude, I remember calling the Shield Bane, Two-Face, and the Joker. It's like, man, John, why are you stealing my stuff? Seriously, why are you stealing my stuff? Then he does a promo inside the ring with a mannequin Seth Rollins. That really wasn't going anywhere. Rollins makes his way down to the ring, kind of saves the promo, and then you hear the car crash into Mick Foley. Mick Foley sells the daylights out of a Hell in a Cell match, even though he comes out looking like he should be a member of the Wyatt family. With the big beard and all scraggly, like he just woke up out of a dumpster. Sells the daylights out of their Hell in a Cell match, which, I'll be honest, that match should be awesome. I don't think it'll be the last match of the night, but I'm pretty sure that when they're done, they're going to go through the gorilla position and they go, oh, Orton? Cena? Good luck. Top it. Go ahead and top it. Go ahead. Go ahead and try to top what we did. Try to top what we did. Doesn't matter who wins that match, because the true winner is going to be the fans, because it's going to be an awesome match. I'm so excited about that match. It's going to be an amazing, amazing match. Over the past couple of weeks, Bray Wyatt's had multiple promos. One for Harper, one for Rowan, one for himself. Now they're doing this, weird, super cut of all three of them. That's just brilliant. Just brilliant. Bray has said that what he's going to do next is going to, make people tear their faces off, which I'm assuming that means he's going to win a couple of feuds. Should be interesting. I'm so looking forward to seeing when Bray Wyatt comes back. And if he brings up the Ascension with him. That should be impressive. The tag division is hurting right now. I think bringing up those guys would be tremendous. That's what you need to do. You need to reinvigorate the tag division, and I think even if you have two Wyatts doing more single stuff, they occasionally do tag, bring in the Ascension to help win the tag division. And if you do it just right, the Wyatt family actually could have an IC champ, a US champ, and the tag champs. And then have Bray make his way towards the main event run sometime next year. And that could be an awesome storyline. That his family actually is controlling the E. A brilliant storyline. You go from the Authority to the Wyatt family. I think it'd be a really, really strong, impactful story. Orton came down and, again, trashed the Kansas City Royals or whatever their baseball team is. Orton comes down, gets in his face. They're talking about, okay, the winner of our match gets a chance to take on Brock Lesnar in an undisclosed time later on, potentially Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, which is what I mentioned last week that he needs to do to make that match really have impact to it. It's a decent promo. And then all of a sudden, you hear what is like fresh silk running through your ears. As you hear the silky smooth voice, like a river of fine caramel. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And he comes down and he hypes the crap out of their match. A brilliant time. He's like, whoever wins, loses. You don't want any part of Brock Lesnar. You want Brock Lesnar. And he will destroy you. Cena goes for an A, chickens out because, he's the good guy, he can't do that. Be a star. Orton RKO's Cena. Tells Paul, hey, why you get out of the ring, it's cool. Turns Paul around. RKO's Paul. Out of nowhere! And I was like, oh man. Then I started thinking, how would I book those two in Hell in a Cell with the winner going against Brock Lesnar? I have Orton go over. Orton's a 13-time champion. John Cena's a 15-time champion. I have Orton through some sort of, authority getting involved, or, Seth Rollins trying to go for like a fake cash in to distract Lesnar. I picture an RKO into a punt. Into like a 3 count. As soon as that 3 count is done, Lesnar's already getting back up to his feet. You have Orton go for another punt. Lesnar sidesteps, hits a big F5. Leaves the ring pissed. Seth Rollins cashes in. Beats Randy Orton. Orton, 14-time champion. You then go into TLC. Orton versus Rollins with the title on the line. So I picture you could probably have John Cena in some sort of match with Dean Ambrose as well. You've Orton defeat Rollins, making him a 15-time champion. Royal Rumble, you have Lesnar come back. Lesnar just demolishes Orton. That way then for WrestleMania, you could have Orton, Cena, Lesnar, and the winner of the Royal Rumble. You have 2 guys who are trying to tie Ric Flair, Brock Lesnar, and whoever else you want to throw into that match. Because if this 4th person wins that match, it is one of the biggest and most important matches in WrestleMania history. I think Seth Rollins is great, but I don't think he's ready to hold that title for a long period of time with there being 1 belt. If they break it back up into 2, it would make sense, but with 1 belt, I don't quite see it happening. So now we're up to the main event, 3-on-2 handicap street fight with a Hell in a Cell above the ring. Man, I wonder if they drop that cell on them. Great match. Dean Ambrose knows how to work this sort of match. Seth Rollins and Orton knows this match, and they're just whooping the daylights out of each other. Great match. So much officialness going in, heading into Hell in a Cell. And then Kane asks him to lower the cell. And that's when it really takes off. You see like a running dropkick from Ambrose, shooting Rollins off into the Hell in a Cell, bouncing off it. And I'm like, how is no one bleeding? You're seeing like La Planches, and all of a sudden you realize, I think the cell didn't get lowered perfectly square, because one side has got like this much space. Other side has got almost enough space for Orton to like turn around. Just great stuff. Orton hits an RKO on Ambrose, gets the victory. Rollins hits the curb stomp on Orton, climbs to the top of the cage, puts his hands up in the air like he is the person who's ruling the roost. Good stuff. This is what makes other Raws not seem as good when they have one. Where they walk in with like, it's home runs, it's both barrels blazing, it's Rambo and Commando taking on predators and aliens in a 3D film. It's everything you want to see. It's just non-stop entertainment. They had some hiccups here and there, but beyond that, you can tell it's like, okay, it's dying. Fix it, change, go, 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 go. Great Raw. I'm actually excited for the majority of Hell in a Cell. I think there are some matches that are just going to be good because you got people who are really good dance partners. I think your dual main event is really, really going to shape the time period between now and pre-WrestleMania season of the Royal Rumble.